Hey, can we talk? How are you? Good. Today, I want to do something a little different for day 10. I want to talk about something that I know we can all relate to because, well, at least my peers. I've gotten the memo that apparently not everybody who watches my videos are teenagers. So, welcome to anyone who isn't. Do you know what TikTok philosophy is? Now, in my mind, TikTok philosophy is something that where it's like, okay, you'll see something on TikTok and it'll be like some type of poetry or something. And for all intensive purposes, it is true but not true. It's wrong. It's stupid. And I call it TikTok philosophy because it's shared as if it's like this golden rule. Like we have our modern day Fyodor, or like we have like these TikTok poets and they're saying things that aren't even true. And it becomes TikTok philosophy when the masses start spreading this around as if it's fact. And I wanted to go over some TikTok philosophy that I've seen and debunk why they're not true in real time. And hopefully teach you the overarching message that is you cannot take everything you see on TikTok, no matter how sad or self deprecating or even as hopeful as it may seem, and try to make that your personality and or your life. Now, the first one is if I wait, it'll never be me. And if I move on, it will never be you. Now, for a multitude of reasons, we all know that's just not true. If I wait, it will never be me. Says who? Who decided that? Who says it will never be you if you wait? The act of waiting in itself is to continue on doing something while staying in you're moving but you're not. It's like watching Superman fly. Superman has complete control over his body, so when he's flying, he doesn't need to take that pose to fly. He can stand completely upright and just float through the sky. That is what it looks like to wait. You are moving through time, but you are standing completely upright and very still. But who's to say that doing such a thing won't get you to where you need to go anyway? Like I said, Superman doesn't have to strike that pose to move, to fly, meaning he can stand stationary and he'll still wind up flying to where he needs to go. Think of it like that. You can wait for something, for someone, and still find yourself in a situation where, okay, on the other side of this is yourself. You can wait and still find yourself, back at where you want it to be. Waiting does not mean it won't happen. If I move on, it will never be you. Says who? Do you know how many times in my life I've thought something to be over, only for it to come right back around? When I was in fourth grade, elementary school years, middle school, everything was always a hard time for me in terms of school. When I was in the fourth grade, I was so used to moving around at this point that I actually told myself I'd never make friends ever again. I made friends again, and sure enough, what happened? I moved. I thought I'll never see these people again. Fifth grade, I made friends again. Made friends again, and I'm thinking, damn, I know I'm going to move again. I'll never see these people ever again. I moved, sure as enough, went to a different fifth grade, went to a different school. I'm at this school. I'm telling myself, okay, no more friends. I end up making a couple friends anyway because that's how kids are. And sure enough, we have a field trip to go look at the middle schools. And I see all my friends from fourth grade, all my friends from my fifth grade from my other school that I just went to. There they are. It's almost as if moving on through life doesn't mean you'll never see these people again. They'll never not be in your life. Now, here's something even crazier. Fifth grade, closest friend I had, his name was Jaden, right? We were super close. At the end of fifth grade, I moved. Never thought I'd see this guy ever again. I moved out of the state. I end up moving back in state. Sure enough, I go to this high school or this middle school. There he is. Moving on does not mean it will never be you, because who knows what happens when that time comes. You'll find yourself in an unprecedented situation, and you just have to learn to be ready for that. On to the next. Number 2, we have, and this is one, me and my friend, we were actually having a conversation about it not too long. This is one that bothers me to a different extent because it just doesn't make any sense to me. To love me more is to know me less. I don't get it. I don't get it. To love me more is to know me less. How? Love isn't, because here's what they're suggesting. They're suggesting that someone seeing you for the real you would make them not love you. But that is entirely self-deprecating. That is entirely wrong. Someone who truthfully loves you, knowing you more would only make them love you more. Someone who truthfully sees you for you and they truthfully care about you the way they are saying, the way they're professing to you by calling it love, would never be turned away from knowing you more. Knowing you more is the gateway to loving you more, not the opposite. It doesn't make any sense. That one's really easy to debunk. This one is one that I think a lot of people need to understand. If they want to talk to you, they will. If they want to be with you, they will. If they want to make things work, they will. Don't let things be one-sided. It's not healthy and it's not fair. Now, here's what they do with this TikTok philosophy thing, right? They take points that are obvious and try to turn them into something that's like, yeah, by the way, yada, yada, yada. Now, should things be one-sided in your life? No. But should you also learn to accept that some things will be one-sided? Abso-freaking-lutely. And here's what they do. That's another thing they do. They throw a little note at the end to reel you back in. You'll begin to tell yourself, okay, well, yeah, obviously. And then they'll say, it's not healthy. And then you'll be like, yeah, like, no, obviously. Like, this is right. This is real. He just said it's not healthy. Duh. But the idea of if they wanted to, they would is such a stupid, stupid, stupid logic. And it ruins a lot of relationships and it ruins a lot of mindsets, positive mindsets. Because if they wanted to, they would is not a good logic. You know how many things I've wanted to do in my life that I just couldn't? Couldn't. I couldn't make it happen. I couldn't make it happen. That doesn't mean I won't ever make it happen, but I couldn't at that moment. So to go off on a whim and just say, well, they're not doing this because they just don't want to. If they wanted to, they would have, right? Says who? Don't give into negative mindsets like that. Give into mindsets that make you look like you're not as cared for. Because like I said, it's self-deprecating. Assuming that somebody's not doing something for you simply because they just don't want to. And not because they just can't. They couldn't. If you're going to assume something, always assume the best. If they wanted to and they had the means to do so, they would. That is the mindset you should have. Not if they wanted to, they actually would. Nah, they didn't text me back in 30 minutes. If they cared about me enough, they would have. It's stupid. Moving on. This one is something that I've seen a lot of our peers do. Me forcing the I don't care mindset on myself, even though I'm the most sensitive person who cares about almost everything. Don't do that. You know how many people reposted this or put in the comments, oh my gosh, real, or silent repost? Don't do that. Don't force an I don't care mindset. Feel. Feel. Allow yourself to feel. I care, and I mean me personally. I care so much that sometimes things feel almost as if they'll kill me. And it is for that reason that I know I am full of love. Because I care. I don't force an I don't care mindset. I don't try to pretend to be something I'm not. I don't try to pretend to give myself some type of, leg up that's only going to hurt me. You are only hurting yourself by denying yourself your right to feeling. Don't deny yourself your right to feeling. It doesn't make any sense. And for all purposes, I wanted to preface that I do understand that people post these types of TikToks so that way they can express themselves. They do it as a means to an end. They feel as if they express themselves by posting self-deprecating TikToks, it'll make them feel a little bit better. It's almost as their confirmation. But posting a self-deprecating TikTok, you are putting this negative space and allowing other people to join this negative space. And that's what makes it a problem. That's what makes it TikTok philosophy is what I like to call it. Because you're taking something bad, throwing it out into the world, and you're doing this self-deprecating act so that way in hopes that people would see you and be like, hey girly, hey dude, it's going to be okay. And then they don't. They just agree with you. And now you're both looking sorry as hell. Two sorry looking people don't make you look good. Now everybody in the comment section is just looking sorry as hell. Now tell me how that fixed any of you guys' problems. I'll wait. You posted it to feel a little bit better, and I understand that. Coping mechanism. Cool. But then you just have people come and join you in this sorrowness, in this pit. And you guys are just bouncing exactlies off of each other. How does this fix any of you guys' problem? How is this making any of you guys feel any better? Somebody coming to you and saying, exactly, I always lie to myself too. Don't worry. You're doing the right thing. You know that's not the right thing, because if you didn't think it was wrong, you wouldn't have posted it. You posted it because you know it's the wrong thing to do, and you want people to tell you, I do that too. But you should be looking for people to tell you, hey, it'll be okay. You should be looking for people like me, personally, and I mean to my own horn. But you should be looking for people to tell you, hey, don't hide behind your emotions. Don't lie to yourself. Don't force things onto yourself that are going to hurt you. You're hurting yourself. You're hurting yourself. Moving on. When I have a few good days, so I think it's over, then a big wave of sadness immediately comes back. Now, this in itself isn't TikTok philosophy or self-deprecation in any way, because it is a truth. But the problem where it becomes TikTok philosophy is in comment sections. You have people joining in your sorrow, in your pity, in your pit, and saying, yeah, the sadness never ends. And then they go and be like, exactly. That's just not true. Always take everything you see on TikTok, if it's a video with just text, don't ever take that shit and be like, abso-freaking-lutely. No, for real. Like, come on, man. This one actually baffled me when I read it. When everything feels too heavy and slipping back into old habits starts sounding more and more comforting. What the fuck? What are we talking about? What do you mean? Why the hell would you do that? And like I said, another case of TikTok, people coming and saying I enjoy that TikTok allows people to express themselves, because there will be some people that come along and say, hey, take care of yourself. Hey, be kind. Hey, don't do that. Hey, learn to love yourself. And then there are people who be like, nah, you're right. I saw a comment on that video specifically. I can't stop having nightmares. Oh shit. Like, oh, whoa, buddy, hold on. What's another one I wanted to touch on? Let's see, it's a 14-minute video. Oh my gosh, we're trucking. All right. Every time I share my feelings, it feels like a mistake. People in the comments, jealousy was my first flaw. I always end up saying sorry after I open up about my feelings. These are people trying to and this touches back into a video I posted a little while ago, a couple days ago, emotional resonance. People are trying to put themselves in these shoes of other people so they can all say one big exactly, hoorah, hoorah to exactly. But it's like, dude, you should never when you see videos like that, the whole point of this video that I'm trying to teach people and show people is when you see videos like that, whether you resonate with it or not, stop. Take a second and think. Should I go into this comment section and be like silent repost and agree? Or should I allow this video to show me that my patterns are bad? It is breaking out of bad habits is not an easy thing. And I don't want anyone to make it seem like I'm trying to imply that breaking out of bad habits is something as easy as just saying, fuck it, I'm done. Because it's not. But you have to know when to call it. You have to know when to call it like, we gotta do something. Posting TikToks like that, posting self-deprecating TikToks, posting, sad, edgy things online, it's a teenager's wet dream. Yeah, we all live it. But it's like, you gotta know when your habits are infecting other people. Because when you're going and you're screaming exactly to the crowd and everybody's saying, hoorah, yeah, you're making a whole lot of other people feel even worse. They're emotionally resonating with something that they don't need to be. We feel a lot of emotions as people. We feel a lot of emotions as human beings. Why must we only emotionally resonate with the ones that make us upset? Why must we only identify the emotions that make us upset? Don't keep telling yourself, oh, I emotionally resonate with BoJack Horseman because he's super depressed and, what did he say? Rehab was supposed to be a fresh start. Don't keep telling yourself you emotionally resonate with BoJack or Maddie from Euphoria or Rue. I emotionally resonate with SpongeBob because SpongeBob is hopeful. I emotionally resonate with Aang from Avatar: The Last Airbender because Aang is, has a persevering spirit and he keeps on trying. Emotionally resonate with people and good emotions alike. Don't just keep trying to find all the bad emotions and things because you are making your life miserable. You are making your life miserable. Let's not. Let's be better as people. Emotionally resonate with things that matter. Don't give in to TikTok philosophy. Thank you. This is a bit of a longer video. Thanks.